Hey, I'm one half of the Bun Son, Riley, and you're tuned in to Stickers and Scuffs with Cam K and our dad, Graydon Bun. We're true Canadian race fans who proudly support Lots for MD. Lots for MD is a racing charity whose drivers donate $1 for every lap they lead during the season. Visit lotsformd.blogspot.com for more information on the program, its drivers, its supporters, and the founder, our friend Brad Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast with Cam K and Graydon Bun. True Canadian race fans. This show is presented by Remax Jack. Call Remax Jack and start to pack. Green flag is out. Let's get this podcast underway.
Everybody, welcome back to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Beers are a-flowing, Graydon. Larry Jackson is on the show. Not just a race car driver, but also he does a job that's very close to my heart. My dad, 30 years on the Toronto Fire Department. Larry Jackson, welcome to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. It's going to be fun.
Well, we hope so. First, we got to talk about let's talk about the big elephant in the room, COVID. I imagine things are probably crazy as a first responder, and you probably get a better sense of anything, as to how this has affected everyday life. But you also get to go racing. So what do you think about all of this, and how has it affected your working in the shop?
Well, working in the shop's pretty easy. It's just myself and one other guy. So, and he lives alone. And so it's just the two of us. If anything, I can infect him, which he's okay with. He's fine. However, the COVID thing, it's a real deal now. Like from, as you guys know, for a year now, we've been running tons of medicals, and everybody says they're COVID, but just recently we're running, I don't know, my truck will run about 10 to 12 calls a day, and nothing compared to your dad, probably. Mississauga's a little slower, but we're in a fairly busy truck. We run, majority of them are medicals, and just recently everybody's go to a house and the whole family's COVID positive and confirmed COVID positives. And then, you run 4 or 5 of those a day. So it's running rampant out there right now, which, you always think the media is blowing it out of proportion, but it seems like it is pretty legit.
Mm-hmm. And with you kind of having this knowledge, what do you feel the prospect is for racing this year? Is it going to be overly tough if they do say, hey, we're going to do it, but you're going to have to do this, this, and this? Would you welcome being brought in to help in the discussions to try and see if we can make it safe for everybody?
I think I'd do anything to help out racing, right? As you guys know, if we could do a similar thing to last year, I think would work. I can't see fans coming. I'm hoping Sunset goes in May. I assume it's not looking very good. The numbers are off the charts as we speak.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do our little thing like we did before, bring 9 people to the track, stay in our own little groups, and then wear masks 24/7 like we did that time. They were pretty strict though.
Yeah.
And I think everything ran really well. So hopefully, or let's hope that they do it again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, unlike the United States that has these big, colossal racetracks, a lot of ours are they're small, they're contained, or they're street circuits. So that kind of plays a big role as to whether the events will happen. And it's unfortunate that 2 years in a row, after coming off the 2019 season, which was amazing, you had a great run in that final race in the 84. And I'm wondering what you thought about your 2019 season.
You mean like the 3 race series we had last year?
Yep.
Or 6 race series?
The 2019 season, and then your abbreviated 2020.
Yeah. I was putting together that car last year, and I procrastinated quite a bit and got it ready last minute, and that we should have had it out for all 3 races really. We brought out the old, one of our really, really old cars. I'm pretty sure that thing won the Toronto Indy 20 some odd years ago. That thing. But that car, we have a blast. You don't expect anything out of it. You sit in the corner of the shop and you just fire it up and bring it out and you go have a blast and try to stay out of everybody's way. Giggle. Yeah. But when we brought the 84 car out, it was actually pretty stout. And that was just going to be a test and tune for this year. And the car was surprisingly quick. So I like always, I had a great time. I can't believe we finished 7th in points. We passed a couple of cars at Sunset there, on a green white checker that we shouldn't even be, in the area of doing. So yeah, I had fun. I always have fun when I go to the track. Way better than anything else, really.
It's got to be a great way to blow off steam. And that also in 2016, where you finished on the podium at Sunset, I mean, you're no stranger to knowing your way around there. We were there for that race. And you also know a lot about Kawartha Speedway and Flamborough Speedway, both tracks that are currently on the Pinty schedule and formerly on the Pinty schedule. You've run a ton of laps in your own late models. Probably one of the winningest drivers in Ontario. Can you talk about running those tracks and having that kind of fun and the at-track experience, Larry?
Oh, you're being very kind. Like anything, you do something a million times, it comes pretty natural. All 3 of those tracks I've turned. Can't imagine how many laps I've turned in those tracks since I was 15 years old. We'd love to see Kawartha Speedway back on the track. Or back in the schedule if we could. That place I love that place. It's so awesome. Great little short track. It's like just a little small version of Jacasa, right?
Yeah.
Just when you hit the wall there, it hurts a lot less.
Yeah.
And then Flamborough, Flamborough's a little tight bull ring. One groove, you got a nice transition in the corners there. If your car's tight, you just drop the left front down below the groove there and loosen the girl up and as Sunset, we had a great time, not dominated, but we won a lot of races there in the old configuration. And we won a couple in the new configuration in late models, but it seems very, very racy there with our cars. So hopefully we can have a lot of fun this summer with those guys.
And to your point, Larry, Kawartha for my family has fond memories of the Fall Classic. I actually got to ride in the experience car around there, so I actually have laps there. I was riding shotgun, but I got to ride around there, and the boys and I got to fire up that 2016 Fall Classic. So I mean, and not to mention the rain delay that was, I think, 2015, where we were all put in the building for the autograph session with the drivers, which was basically what baited my kids hook, line, and sinker to the series. So that place has a ton of great memories for us too.
Yeah,
that's
my
yeah, as you
favorite.
said, I mean, it's still there for everyone listening. Kawartha is still very much alive. It's just not on the Pinty schedule right now, which it would be great to see that place back on it for sure.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to get us out there again.
Now, we've seen you. Okay, we mentioned it a little bit in the Bun Sons, but you've kind of been all over the place in the Penny series. I remember the 81 B&B Deckel's car. That was, I think, my first race that I had seen you in, and way back at Mosport Speedway. And you kind of been all over with the 98. You were 56 at times, 25. This beautiful number 8 behind me.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, I heard. Oh God, okay. Let's go. What's the story behind that?
Dive into that.
Oh no. Yeah, just another number, right? I didn't even know I had hero cards with the number 8 on it. I think that car was 25 at one time.
That's
so
right.
It's you're getting old when you just look back. You're like, I haven't seen that, or I don't remember that, right?
Well, your podium was with the number 1, so there's another number, right?
Yeah,
I think you ran all the CBRT numbers.
I definitely did, right? 87.
Yeah,
we jumped in 27 car one time at out west.
That's right. Yes.
I jumped in Dumoulin's car one time. I jumped in the 28 car one time. Yeah, somebody needs to start and park. Old Jackson will do it for you. He'll make you a buck.
You're like Buddy Baker of the Canadian Tires or the Canadian Series, man. That guy had more numbers than you could count too.
I think Adam used some.
And loved by everybody.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. What, do you got a cocktail in hand there?
That's actually a seltzer.
Oh,
it is a cocktail, but
it's Graydon's prerequisite for when we do our interviews here.
Excellent.
So,
perfect.
It blends in with my end of my day. I come in and thrash, get dinner into me, and then get down here for this.
That's awesome. Good.
We're not opposed to having them as a sponsor either, Graydon. So you could flash the logo on there. I'm sure.
This is Bangerang done in London, Ontario. Actually,
there we go.
Sweet.
Maybe
Back to Larry.
A future 84 with the company on it.
Yes,
we'll take anything, as you guys know.
That's right. We're doing what we can to try and get some companies on there.
You bet.
That kind of leads right in. Larry, and how difficult is it to obtain those sponsors? You know, you've had some really great, as we've seen, the Wonder Bread car, man.
Iconic.
The Ricky Bobby in Canada, man. That was the first thing we thought of as soon as we saw it, man. It was, holy crap, I can't believe they were able to get Wonder Bread on a car, because even like big time NASCAR, they got it for maybe 1 or 2 races, but you had it for like, what was it, a season and a bit? How did that happen?
Well, it's really good when your wife works there. my wife's in marketing, and she's really good at what she does. But we kind of fell into that little deal. It was kind of cool. But it's so tough to get sponsors and keep sponsors, and just asking for money is so difficult. Even like with today and the economics, it's so difficult. I'm kind of embarrassed to ask for money. So it's tough.
It's one of the only sports that it seems it's so reliant on money.
Oh.
You know, it is, every little thing is expensive. You know,
100%. You want to go fast, you got to buy tires.
Yeah.
You want to practice, you got to have tires. They don't run on, the fuel's not cheap. Hey, buddy.
That's Nala. She makes her weekly appearance on the podcast. The other one hiding somewhere. So,
they don't run on hopes and dreams, eh, Larry?
They do not.
No.
If you get rid of those tires, put everybody on 4 tires for the whole day, it'd be beautiful. But
there you go. There's a great idea right there. I mean, I think that there's options here. I mean, I've thought about, and Graydon and I have had this kind of conversation about, throwbacks are such a big thing in NASCAR and racing nowadays. We've seen a couple of them. I know Tommy Joe Martins just came out with one today for Rich Bickle's 1010 345 car. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I know you've already got the 84 rolling, so I'm not opposed to sticking an 8 in front of this. Right?
I mean, maybe we should get Donnie to get behind the wheel again.
Well, I mean,
I bet you he still has it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I bet you, he does. So the whole aspect, having to ask for money, is it something that you have somebody for, Larry, or is it literally you do it all yourself?
I'm like a one-man show, actually. I try and do it all myself, and I've kind of given up with the sponsorship side of the deal, and that's why I run where I run. I kind of run out of my own pocket, and you get one-off here and there sponsors, but you'll see me go to the track, and I beg Sherry to let me run used tires, and thank God for most of the teams that I recycle or renew all their used parts. And you got guys like John Fletcher and Joey and Dave Jacobs, and I can write a whole list. Like, I've probably got a part on my car from every team in the series.
Wow.
So it's you got to help out the lower level teams as well.
So absolutely,
keeps me going.
That pretty much answered it touched perfectly on what I was going to ask you next, Larry. The relationships you've made in the Pinty series, from a fan's perspective, being around it like we have, you do see kind of the everybody working together, real small family aspect to it. And the relationships that you've made, like you said, like with Joey McComb, Jim Bray, countless amounts of people that you help either with your skills, you bring your driving or crew skills. What don't you do is what my question is. Actually, you've crew chief, you're a crewman, you do it all. What don't you do on a race car?
What don't I do?
Do you do vinyl too?
I do. Well, you know what? I can do everything. I can lay vinyl, but I suck at it. Totally suck at it. Like an hour ago, I just melted 500 pounds of lead. We had the burners going. We're melting lead, so we got to just finishing up a car here at the shop. A chassis that I acquired off Anthony Simone got wrecked at Chicasa.
Mm-hmm.
I threw it on my jig, and there goes my wife. She's in the background. Yeah, I just had a car that Anthony Simone was getting rid of. Like we took and we put on the plate, and we welded all new bars in it and fixed it up, and something that somebody was done with, we recycled.
Nice.
And then I can build motor. I can't build motors, but I can assemble a motor.
Yep.
Tear apart a transmission, put a gear together. I can weld chassis up. I do. My person I learned from is Junior Hanley, John Fletcher. And I remember when I was 16 years old, I'd be not ride my bike, drove a car to Fletcher's, and I used to go every day, sweep floors. I remember sanding a chassis with a piece of sandpaper for them to work on my street stocks at the time, and bartered back and forth. And I was a coffee, BITCH, So.
Yeah. But you're soaking it in, man. Like you want to be there, right? And you're just soaking in any little bit of knowledge that they'll bestow on you, right?
Yeah. Just teach me something, right? I still, Junior comes to the shop probably weekly, right? And he'll come by. He's like, "Why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's the way we've done it for 20 years. Like, tell me why we're not doing it that way now." And it's just the cycle of racing. Like, it just goes round and round in circles. It's what we do today is something we did 9 years ago, or it's crazy. All the trick stuff isn't trick. It's just for some car builder to, get more money. So I'm pretty sure I could take these old chassis, put up a similar new setup in them, get somebody to buy me some tires, and we can run right up front with these guys, no problem. So.
Well, that's something that we've kind of noticed, right? Is that you guys you have been able to do that, That was that Jukasa race, I believe it was last year in the 84. You had was it Grasshopper, I think, on the Grasshopper golf carts, maybe it was on the
scooters, actually. Scooters. Yeah,
that's what it was.
They give us a scooter.
Nice.
My daughter loves it, right? She scoots around everywhere. So yeah, it's a great little electric scooter.
Well, that thing was motoring, right? You were flying up to the field, and that makes me wonder. You say you do a whole lot on the the car yourself, but what is the crew situation like? Is it all volunteer based? Is it friends, family?
All the above, yes.
All the above.
It was funny. We were getting that car ready. We thought we were just going to test and tune it, and then 2 days before, I set that car up at 1 o'clock in the morning the night before. And it's like, this thing's going to be pretty good. So you get on the phone at 7 o'clock next morning, called my cousins, called my brother, called a few people. And next thing you know, we had a handful. Jim Bray actually brought his crew as well. So that was a helping hand. Usually we're helping out other teams. So now we finally got our own cars, our own core group of people now. So they're all volunteers, buy them dinner. And then use and abuse them for 12-hour days. It's great.
Now, are you a fan of the doubleheader?
No. Don't tell anybody though. For me, it always goes back to money, right? If I had 4 brand new tires waiting in the pits to do that second race, I'd be okay with it, because it's not just a 125 lap race or 100 lap race, whatever they are. But if I can buy 4 tires and I can make it to lap 75 without getting lapped, I know I can conserve those tires for the rest of the race and let those guys pit. And when they pit, 5 out of 10 cars will screw up and get a penalty and go lap down. And then you kind of work your way around and survive for a while and try for a top 10 or top 5 would be nice. And Yeah. That's my game plan. Don't tell anybody.
I'm with the utmost respect, like with you sharing this with us, like what the game plan is with your equipment and everything. First of all, I thank you very much for sharing that type of stuff with us, but just what it's like to, I mean, we see it just standing there watching you guys set up and tear down. Like my sons and my wife and I, well, my wife might kind of stray off or look at her phone or whatever, but my sons and I watch with like the most intent, like everybody from our friends at 22 Racing to DJ to you guys, all like everybody working together when everybody just wants to go home at the end of the night, loading stuff up and everything. That it's just so neat to see that type of family atmosphere, that they want to help each other out. And it's just a testament that, and I wanted to say thank you for sharing with us how you roll with that.
Oh, well, we got to thank all the guys that volunteer the time as well. Like, couldn't do it. One person can't do this. It takes so many people, just so many people to thank. And you forget half of them. You should never do that. But you do. You're like, you forgot this guy came over and, just brought you lunch while you're working away at something, or brought you that one volt you needed just to finish off what you're doing. And he run to the hardware store and, and he probably bought it for you as well. Right. And you're like, thank that guy for that one $10 part. Right. There's so many people that give you, give you like the $100 here, $1,000 here, that whatever parts you need. There's so many giving people, and it's tough to thank them all, right? It's
at the same time, it's kind of like, at least like with my circle of friends, we're all just tradesmen and stuff like that. It all comes back around in the end, right? Like maybe you're not exchanging dollars or whatever, but like you're exchanging parts and time and just helping each other out. I mean, it all kind of comes out, evens out in the wash.
Yeah. It's funny. It's not funny. We hate each other on the racetracks. So, like with passion. Like, I hate this guy.
We hear you guys say this all the time. Yeah.
And you get off the track,
first time.
and you're having a beer with somebody, or you're just, you're same hotel room. So you're out in the hallway having beers all, through the night, or you need that one part. And you're like, oh, I don't want to go over and ask him for that, a bearing or something. But, but we're such a dysfunctional, close family. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's great that this is kind of the one feeling that we've had by talking with so far most of the NASCAR Penny Series field. Like, it's all the, we leave it out on the track, there's some people that have had to carry over from race to race, but until the revenge is kind of taken out, and then
everybody has that uncle or family member that they just don't jive with, right? So,
it's a tight group though. These guys, it's so tight.
And it's also it's so small, right? Like, not a cup series where there's 30 to 40 trying to win each week, and one of the things that we've come accustomed to is seeing you on road courses, on street courses, and on the ovals. You don't do like half and half. You do whatever race kind of suits. By doing a full season, where do you feel your road course program is compared to, say, your oval? Are you more comfortable on the road and street courses, or are you more short track through and through?
I think the oval stuff comes pretty naturally. It's home for me. But the street courses, don't tell my oval friends this, but I had so much fun on the road, or the street courses, or CTMP or Three Rivers. Three Rivers, my favorite. I run around dead last too. Like, I'm not, I sneak in there with a bunch of used tires. My car, like I told you, it won the Indy, but 20 years ago. And I have so much fun, like I remember, I love telling people the story. I'm going down Toronto, or down the lakeshore of Toronto, and I'm giving her, and I grabbing gears, downshifting for I think it's like a 300 or 180 degree turn there, whatever it is, 110 degree turn there at the end of the straightaway. And Ranger goes blown by me, and my hair goes, he went by me so fast, it scared me. and I thought I was doing well. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be out here. But, there's guys with so much talent. If I could just learn a little bit every time I'm out there, I'll take it. And it's so much fun. Highly recommend it.
All right, Graydon, you heard it here. We got to invest in a car.
Well, and that's how I started, right? I guess I drove gym race stuff, but then I wanted to do my own little road courses, race my late model on the ovals. And next thing you know, I just fell into Joey and I drived right after I started driving my own car there. And yeah, that went on for quite a while. It was great.
Yeah, the CBRT. I mean, I think it was you that got them their best finish of third, right?
I think Robin Buck got me by one. He got second place once.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
That's
couldn't
a
let
good
you run with it.
conversation to be in, though.
Yeah.
Robin
Yeah.
Buck too.
Jeez,
Okay.
of all people. I'm wondering what the fellow firefighters think about you having a race team and a race car driving the NASCAR Penny Series. They've got to be pretty psyched about that.
Well, I don't know. I guess got to ask them. I don't know actually. Like we're on a rescue team, a rescue truck at the city, so I think my mechanical skills will come help out in situations. But yeah, to them, I'm just another fireman.
Oh, well, I feel like there is so much potential there. My dad being a firefighter for 30 years, as soon as he heard there was a firefighter driver, it was, what, really? It was, oh, that's a brother right away, one big family, and
just like racing, right? Our family's pretty tight racing.
Exactly.
The brotherhood and sisterhood.
Exactly.
So tight as well.
Back on Stickers and Scuffs podcast with Larry Jackson. Just had a minor technical blip here. I was going to ask Larry about what you're more nervous about, if it's going into a fire or when you were watching your daughter drive your 98 car across Jacasa Speedway, and is she coming to replace you?
Definitely her driving. Especially she didn't have her license. She barely drove standard. She's it's terrible. But it was exhilarating and scary at the same time, I guess you can say. And I think she turned 160 laps and she was like 3/4 throttle. She had a blast, and she called me out I promised her that she could turn some laps at a racetrack sometime last summer. And I remember sitting at the dinner table. It was Thursday evening, and she's like, "Hey, Dad, you never let me try the car." And I'm like, "This my daughter is a competitive swimmer, lifeguard, swimming instructor, mid-90s student. She never has time to do anything. Here we are in the middle of November. I think it was November 25th or 27th, somewhere around there. And she's chirping me on a Thursday evening after dinner. So I get on the phone to Nagy and like, "Nagy, can I borrow the track tomorrow?" And racing family, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Come on out, have at her. Didn't ask for a penny, right? It was great. So we show up there, went to the shop. I think I got up at 4 a.m, go down there, put the battery back in, change set of gears. I think didn't know I'd change on it. Just make sure everything was tight. And, I probably checked it better for her than anybody else, right? And then, brought her out there, and she was chirping me a little bit still. And she went out there, and I remember videotaping her, and I showed her the videotape afterwards. And she's like, "I was that slow." I'm like, and it's funny, like even the fire department guys think it's so easy to go around in circles, right? And I'm like, you're more than welcome, jump in this thing anytime you want, and just so you get the feel of it, right? Because everybody thinks it's so easy, and But I was really scared. But I'll run into any fire. Never been scared of a fire ever. So
it's funny. It's the common answer. It's the common answer between firefighters.
It's a whole different animal.
Scared about the fire. I wasn't scared about the fire, but once my kid was doing something.
Yeah, she's at half speed, and my old car's a tank. It'd probably break the wall, right? It wouldn't hurt her or the car or But it's like any firefighter, as you know, your dad, right? You're like, you get a medical call, you're like, oh, medical call. You get a fire, and everybody's like, yeah, let's go. Everybody's all excited, right? And somebody's worst day, and we're all excited to go.
True.
adrenaline rush. We're all adrenaline junkies, and I'm doubling down on it. I love fire department. I love my job, and I love racing. So, yeah.
So she's not coming to replace you in the seat anytime soon, then, eh?
I keep asking her. I got a late model I've saved for my nephew, actually, and he's 50 now, but he doesn't know how to drive standard yet. So I'm like, just learn how to drive standard, and I'll turn you loose to this. You get a limited late model at Sunset Speedway. That it's a great car, but you can't sell this stuff. No one wants them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, 16 years old, come out. I want you to turn 1,000 laps in this thing, because you can only learn by turning laps.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably not going to put them in a 4-cylinder, because 4-cylinders cost more than the late models do nowadays.
Crazy.
Yeah. So maybe my daughter will turn a couple laps there. I don't know. She doesn't want. My family wants nothing to do with racing. As you can see in my house, there's not one picture of race cars. There's not one. I used to get these things called trophies, but I won't see one of those ever again. Yeah, like even my friends, like my wife's friends, they don't even know I race, so it's funny.
Well, we're hoping to change that with this podcast, Larry. We want to thank you for coming on. And we really are hoping for the best, so that we can, obviously that you stay safe, and all of your, brothers and sisters in the fire department, all stay safe and continue to do the amazing work that you guys do. But we definitely want to see you on the track, in whatever capacity. Full time would be awesome. I think it'd be your first full season. So yeah, all the best, and really we hope to actually see you at the track and get to do this at the track with the car in the background. That's what we want to get.
Definitely. Anytime you guys need a filler, Jackson's here for you.
All right,
well,
Graydon.
Thanks very much, Larry, and to your credit, I mean, thank you for what you do as a first responder. I have lots of friends that are on our department here in town, and just the way I'm wired, as you said, like when you go and fight a fire, you're like, all right, I could get my head around that. Some of those medical calls and motor vehicle accidents and things like that, I'm not programmed for that sort of thing. And I tell my buddies this all the time. I have the utmost respect for what they do and for what you guys do. And as you say, you get to double down with the adrenaline rush in racing. I can relate to that. I like pushing the skinny pedal on our Durango, but so all in all, thank you very much for what you do for a living, and for the entertainment you provided us tonight, and giving us a walk in your shoes. It's great to have you, man. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys doing this as well. We need all the help we can get. This racing community is pretty small, and it's full of great people. Thank you.
If you ever need a volunteer, you get in touch with us, and I'll come running, bud.
Perfect.
I'll come. I probably won't run, whatever what that means.
I practice changing dump truck tires, 12 on, 12 off.
Okay, I'm only asking for 5. 5, you'll be good.
Yeah.
Even 4 will work if we.
Yeah, 80% is not bad. Come on.
I'm okay with that.
We want to thank.
Thanks a lot, Larry.
Want to thank Larry
Awesome,
Jackson for coming on the podcast. Make sure you follow him, and listen. Any companies out there, get in touch with him. Get some companies on the car. They're looking for partners.
Camping World.
Yes, Camping World. Get on there, Marcus Lemonis. We're counting on you. All right, everybody. Sorry, what was that, Larry?
I say all we need is 1 tire.
There we go. A tire bill. That's all
we're not asking for much.
Thank you, everybody. Have yourselves a great week. We'll catch you next time on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast.